All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to be talking all about karma.
Karma.
But not just like your typical, what goes around comes around kind of thing.
Okay.
We are going to be doing a deep dive on some excerpts from the audiobook Karma
Oh, cool.
by Sungye Rinpoche.
A fantastic teacher.
Yeah, he's a Tibetan Buddhist teacher who is really well known for kind of bringing these Eastern and Western ideas together and really making these like age-old kind of concepts relevant to us today.
Yeah, definitely.
So we are going to be focusing specifically on his perspective on karma, how it relates to suffering,
Okay.
and even how understanding karma can actually help you lead a more fulfilling life.
Interesting.
Sounds a little paradoxical, right?
Yeah, it does a little bit.
But stick with us, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll see what we mean.
Sounds good.
So, when people think about karma, they often think about it as like this cosmic justice system. Like if you do something bad's going to happen to you.
You get what you deserve kind of thing.
Exactly. But Rinpoche's teachings kind of go a little bit beyond that sort of simplistic view.
Yeah, he really emphasizes that karma is so much more than just like a system of punishment or reward.
Yeah.
Like it's not just about tallying up your good deeds and bad deeds and then you get like,
Exactly.
subs your outcome.
Like you said, it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
And, he uses this really interesting metaphor.
Okay.
He says that seeing karma as just a system of punishment is kind of like looking at a tapestry
Okay.
and only seeing the knots on the back.
The knots.
That you're missing.
Yeah.
The intricate patterns.
Okay.
The beauty of the design. The intentions behind every thread.
I see where he's going with this.
So instead of focusing on the knots,
Yeah.
he wants us to look at the whole picture
Okay.
and to understand karma as this dynamic process of cause and effect.
I like that word dynamic because it really emphasizes that this is not just some static system.
Right.
It's constantly evolving and changing based on our actions.
Exactly. So how do you think our actions, actually like create those ripples, so to speak?
Well, it's all about intention, really.
Okay.
Every action that we take, every thought we have, even every intention that arises in our mind, it creates an energy that goes out into the world.
So it's like, imagine like a rock being dropped into a pond.
Exactly.
The ripples.
The ripples that go out from that rock.
And those ripples go out and affect not just ourselves, but
everything around
the
us.
people around us in the environment.
Yeah, it's all interconnected. And so those ripples, they can be positive or negative, and they can have short-term or long-term effects.
Yeah, so how does this connect with suffering then?
Well, you see, a lot of our suffering comes from not understanding this process, from misunderstanding karma.
Okay.
So we cling to things that we think will bring us happiness.
Like material possessions.
Like material possessions.
Or relationships.
Or relationships.
Or even certain...
Or even just like...
outcomes.
Certain outcomes or situations.
Yeah.
We think if we just get that promotion.
Or if
I just get that new car.
Or just get married, then I'll be happy.
Then I'll finally be happy. But the thing is, that kind of happiness is very fleeting and conditional.
Exactly. And so we end up, on this hamster wheel.
Yeah, we're constantly chasing after things. Trying to grasp onto things, thinking that they're going to bring us...
We get stuck in...
lasting happiness.
These cycles.
But they never really do.
Of suffering.
Because true happiness doesn't come from...
So what's the solution?
External circumstances.
What is Rinpoche?
It comes from within. It comes from understanding the nature of our own minds.
Yeah.
That's where the understanding of karma comes in.
So how can understanding karma help us break free from these cycles of suffering?
Well, the first step is awareness, being mindful of our choices and our intentions.
So it's like instead of just reacting automatically to things that are happening,
we actually take a step back.
We step back.
And we observe.
We make a conscious choice.
We make a conscious choice about how we want to respond. And that space between stimulus and response, that's where our freedom lies.
Exactly. It's that pause, that moment of...
It's that moment of mindfulness
on this,
that allows us to choose a different path.
And not just be reactive.
Exactly. And this awareness, it goes beyond just our own actions.
Yeah.
It also affects our relationships with others.
So if we understand that our actions have this ripple effect.
Right.
And that...
we naturally become more compassionate.
More understanding.
More responsible.
In how we interact with people.
Because we realize
Yeah.
That our actions don't just affect us, they affect everyone around us.
It's that interconnectedness
Exactly.
that we were talking about before.
And that's a really powerful thing.
I want you to think about right now a recent conflict that you've had with somebody.
Okay.
And how understanding this interconnectedness might change your perspective on that whole situation.
Yeah, it can really shift things. It can help us to let go of blame.
Yeah.
And to see things from a more compassionate perspective.
Yeah, and it all starts with that awareness.
Yeah, being mindful of those ripples.
Of those ripples
that we're creating.
So I'm going to leave you with this question.
Okay.
If our actions really do create these ripples, what kind of ripples do we want to send out into the world?
That's a really good question.
And how can this new understanding of karma influence the choices that you make today?
It's definitely something to reflect on.
It is. All right, everybody, this has been another deep dive. I hope that this has been helpful for you. We encourage you to keep exploring these ideas on your own.
There's a whole world out there.
There is.
Yeah.
Until next time, take care.